Hey guys,
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast. Season 3, episode 12 wasn't great, but we're still building up to shit. There's still shit to get done.
This is one that just, it moves this plot along, and we're fine with it, but
we're fine.
Bang it out.
Okay. Please rate, subscribe, review. We have nothing new to share. Obviously, what?
We have one comment to share once you get to
Oh my God,
our socials.
so funny, could die. Okay, so join our Facebook group, same name as the podcast. I did accept someone recently, so
I saw
welcome.
that. Yes,
So
welcome.
I actually just watched that movie and I was like, why is this so funny? Because he was singing the welcome song and I was like, this is funnier than usual. That's why we do it. That's okay. Also, follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. Guys, we got a hilarious
A nice comment on our Insta. It really made what did it happen on Friday night?
It happened Friday because I was getting ready to go out and I was already a few drinks in. I was going to get dinner. I wasn't going clubbing. We're in a pandemic. But
I think I was home by the time we were talking about. No, I think I was about to leave.
I was a few drinks in. So I'm going to shout out, I'm assuming it's a girl, and I'm going to shout out the handle. We got a nice comment from Boston Babe 1987 who said, How old are you girls? You sound like you're in junior high with your comments. Which, she's probably not wrong. We obviously listen to this thinking we're grown-ass adults, and we're probably not.
We are children still.
I do stand by it, Boston Babe. Thank you so much for listening. We truly appreciate it. We love having you. We thought this comment was so funny. And I did say that though we have the spirits of young tweens, we are in fact in our late 20s. That was
in case
probably
anybody didn't know.
We are well past college. We are full functioning adults. We both have jobs. We both have apartments. We pay bills.
But we still have that tween spirit.
It was so funny. But then Boston Babe was very nice and responded, have to give it to you girls. That was a great reply. I do listen to every podcast. Boston Babe, thank you so much. I hope that you'll continue.
Love you. You're our fourth gal pal.
That was hilarious. We hope you'll follow us to Summer House and One Season Wonders when those get out there. This was absolutely hilarious. Everyone should comment on our Instagram so I can nicely respond back on my own personal
account. Go follow it. That was the highlight of my entire week. Even though I just found out something great, go listen to the pre-show too, everybody.
I read it to my roommate and she was dying. And she's like, you do kind of sound like that. And I was like, you know what? Thank you so much.
We're young at heart. It keeps us young.
You know what? It's better than being like, hey, how old are you girls? You sound like 98-year-olds. Honestly, I'd rather be a tween.
I actually once, when we were working at our old company, somebody thought that I was an old lady.
Why? What?
I don't know.
Someone we worked with or a client?
No. One of the product specialists I worked for the auto shows.
Oh, okay. I love
he was the head product specialist, and by the time I met him in person at the state fair of Texas,
I thought you were 50.
He was like, I thought you were an old lady, and I was like, I'm in my 20s.
I love that,
you, sir.
Okay, so we'd obviously rather be tweens. Thank you so much, Boston Babe.
Absolutely.
Also, so Boston Babe, if you love us so much and you actually want to get to know our personal life, you should join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. That's where you'll hear about our adult problems or our adult opinions, because here we just kind of, it's messy. We know we're a very messy group. Okay. What can we get on Patreon? Let me tell you. So for $1 a month, you will get access to all of our pre-shows. Meredith had a great one. She really took control of this pre-show and it was amazing. I should let her do that every week. And you'll get access to any episodes that we record early. So right now, I was telling Meredith on the pre-show, we are in the middle of a snowstorm. It is January here in Chicago. It is January where Meredith is in St. Louis. But when you're listening to this, it's probably fucking summer. You're probably in Christmas again by the time
you're probably wearing shorts again.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody has their vaccine, but who the heck knows?
We're all tan. We're all beautiful again. We got those summer bikini bodies.
Drinking some margaritas.
Oh, we love it. We love it. But you're behind basically is what I'm saying to you. So you should probably just join our Patreon to get these on time.
Yeah. Also, you're going to be behind even in the summer. So get ahead.
Yeah, by the time you're listening
perfect time to get ahead.
By the time they're listening to this, we've probably finished season 4.
We're
honestly, maybe
listen.
halfway
We've got so much content on here.
Okay. Also, though, for $1 a month, you can get our first season of One Season Wonders, where we did NYC Prep. You know, it's the show where Meredith and I watch a show that only had 1 season and talk about it. It's great. It's super fun. You should get it on this podcast as well.
Yeah, it'll be up on this one, but we'll have more. So like
we'll have more.
All that stuff is going to be early. Summer House is going to be early.
We'll
get all the content
because we're doing. So by the time you're listening to this, I'm sure Summer House is probably ended.
I think it's wrapping up. Yeah,
it's probably So we have done that whole season live, Summer House season 5, but we're going to go back and do Summer House seasons 1 through 4, but those will be on our Patreon before they're released to the public as well. So just do that. Our Patreon is really the place to be. Yeah, honestly.
Dude, there's so much going on there.
And that's all for $1. Now, if you want more, you can pay $2 and you'll get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you'll get access to our after show, which is where Meredith and I discuss spoilers because
I have so many things this week.
Oh, I'm excited. We're doing this podcast spoiler free. We're going to do Summer House spoiler free, just in case people are listening for the first time. So our after show is where we debrief and talk about things to come and things we notice and funny, whatever. It's great. Is that it? Oh, we'll also say your name on the podcast. So shout out to our girls, Jackie, Tracy, and Mariah.
Woo-hoo,
hey, bitches.
Gal pals.
We love, and you know what? We'll just give it to Boston Babe this one week.
You can be in this grouping for the week.
This is it for cracking us up. Okay, and then for $5 a month, you'll get everything we just mentioned. Plus, you'll get to ask us any questions for our after show, which like I think everyone does. Like I have something from Tracy that was just like nice to talk about. So we're going to do that today. Also, you're going to be our patron of the episode, and guess who that is? It's still Jackie because she's still the best and the only one giving us $5 a month. And we responded and we gave her a gift around the holidays, but we will continue. Jackie,
I think we're gonna have to do like twice a year, like a summer gift now.
Oh, we should. Jackie's gonna be first too. Like we got to figure out what Jackie would love, and then we can send everyone else that. But like mainly,
well, if you join now, if you join the Patreon now, you can still get your gift.
Get our summer gift. Oh, that's fun. But if you don't join now, you're not getting your summer gift. So figure that out. Math.
Make a decision.
Okay. I think that's it. Woohoo! Okay. It's Sunday afternoon. I'm gonna assume neither one of us are mixing it up. So
I'm just drinking coffee.
I scarfed down a smoothie and I'm gonna order ramen tonight. So
yum.
Huzzah. Okay, so let's talk about this episode. Previously on Vanderpump Rules, the crew went to Miami. Jax was texting both Tiffany and Carmen and was flirting with Vail. Vail finally figured out that Jax is a hoe. Stassi isn't talking to Katie because she feels betrayed. Tom and Kristen had their closure moment, but now Kristen thinks Tom's in love with her, so she's going to break Ariana and Tom up. Wow. That was my favorite scene. That scene is now going to live rent free in my mind. So now let's get to the
hope I never am that crazy.
It's just so funny. Okay, so Stassi's car. Stassi tonight is being a friend, and she's taking Christina Kelly to work. They're gonna party tonight, so this is like Christina's gonna grab her paycheck beforehand. Stassi's gonna get on her push-up roll while she waits. Everyone, though, is back from Miami. And Christina's like, it might suck, but at least now I have Katie at work. And Stassi's like, but I don't have Katie, so I don't care.
Yeah, we don't. Stassi's like, we don't like Katie. Whereas Christina's like, I need a friend at work.
She's like, Christina's like, are you actually mad? Like, I get why she went, but are you actually like fucking mad? Yeah. And Stassi's like, of course I'm mad. I'm mad because Sheena told me before Katie, which I get. I get it.
That is valid. The way you found out is a valid reason. But Stassi's not saying she's mad at Katie. Like last episode, she wasn't saying because of how she found out. It's that she went, that she's hanging out with those people.
My other thing is I really do need a timeline of like when Katie decided to go versus like telling Stassi and like Sheena meeting up with Stassi.
I agree.
I don't know why, but like, okay, if I was Katie, right? I would be like, I gotta hype myself up. I need to like get a bottle of wine to like really set the mood to tell Stassi. And then I kind of like, then Sheena just grabs lunch and I'm like, fuck Sheena, you fucking ruined my plan. So I don't know. But
yeah, like if it was like 2 days in between, that's kind of not enough time to like confront your friend who hates all these people.
Also, Katie's got work. Stassi's busy, I'm sure. Like,
yeah, this is an in-person conversation.
Yes, 100%. So, Christina agrees with Stassi that Katie should have told and said that she was going to go to Miami. But Christina understands that, like, the why behind it, you know, like there's a reason. But Stassi's done. She's done. She wants it to go order. She doesn't even drop Christina off in front, which this would piss me off. Christina was secretly mad.
The very last parking spot she pulls into.
Christina was secretly mad, and I was like, I would also be secretly mad because Christina did that thing where she's like, "You're such a bitch," and that would be me. I'd be like, "Fucking hate you."
Yeah, you can't really like yell about this. Like it's just
thanks
walking.
for driving me to work, you bitch. Okay, so now we're in Sir. Lisa's here. She's sitting at the bar with Jax. They're talking about Miami. Everything went great. Sheena joins.
Sheena was so happy. Katie had a good time with everyone.
God, everyone was great. Sheena joins the convo and, you know, agrees this was the best. We fucking loved this.
Everyone got along, Lisa. Yeah. Wow. I think it's because Stassi wasn't there.
Of course it was. And they're both like, thank God Stassi wasn't there. And Lisa's like, shut the fuck up, Jack, because you would totally give your left nut to be with Stassi. Okay, and Kristen and Tom are working together, right? Kristen's ordering a drink from the bar that Tom's at. They seem fine, but then we get crazy Kristen in her interview that's like, she still thinks that Tom has feelings for her. And obviously if Ariana wasn't there, then they would still have a fighting chance.
It's so clearly Ariana is in the way of them being back together.
So if Ariana gets hit by this truck, Kristen's next in line.
Yeah, she acts like
right.
She just there's no other girl. The throne after like Ariana is like removed.
Ariana's not going to die. She's just going to be injured, but Tom won't want to date her anyway. So then he'll date Kristen because there's no other girls Tom would date, right?
Remember Jax's like plus and things. Kristen's is all minuses. Like Tom and Hart minus Ariana equals Kristen. Hart Tom.
Kristen and Tom or Kristen.
One plus sign in there is the truck. It's Tom, Hart, Ariana.
Plus truck minus
Ariana equals Tom, Hart, Kristen.
Kristen and Jax are really two peas in a fucking pod.
They honestly are the same level of like delusional.
Just insane. Okay, so then Tom, once Kristen leaves with her drinks, goes to Ariana at her bar, and they literally talk about Kristen. All Tom wanted to do was have Kristen move on, and Ariana's like, so far it's fine, but Kristen's about to call a Mack truck, so Ariana better watch her.
They have no ideas what's going on, like off stage, like what is happening behind the scenes with like Kristen. But Tom did tell Ariana about the whole conversation he had with Kristen, which is a clear sign this relationship is so healthy.
Yeah,
that Tom did not feel like he needed to hide anything from her.
He's like,
Ariana is very cautiously optimistic, and I think that is a terrible move.
We did get that one flashback to their conversation when Kristen wipes Tom's tears, and I just want to ask, I don't know if you like look this deep into this, but I did. When she reaches and like wipes his tear away, his whole demeanor is just like you could just see him.
He like tenses up,
just like like he's
because he can't deny her that,
he can't be like, don't touch my face.
Yeah.
So he lets it happen, and then he's like, great. So we're good? We're good?
I think his plan is like, let me love you from afar.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. I don't think he loves her. I think he cares for her, but he needs her to know he's loving her from afar.
He does not want her to get hit by a Mack truck. He cares for Kristen more than that.
He wants her to drive away in a Mack truck.
That'd be right. Oh, it's so bad. Okay, so now we're in the back of Sir. Vail's chilling. Peter joins her. They talk about Miami, and Vail's like, I had so much fun. I was like drinking and like
blacked out.
When I'm drunk, I'm a makeout slut. I'm like that high school virgin that just makes out with everyone. And Peter's like, are you drunk right now?
Yeah, he's so creepy.
My roommate and I both were watching this episode. Peter's hot. He doesn't have game, but he's hot. Like, he doesn't need game.
Okay, that's at this point in the evening, though, his hair gets a little stringy, and I don't like it.
He has
like up top. It's kind of like how girls do. When it gets like sweaty, it just kind of looks a little gross.
Peter's learning. We all had that junior high phase where our hair was stringy. Peter hasn't done that yet. So now in his 30s,
he's working hard. I get it. I'm just saying this is not his best look.
Yeah. So
Vail she also admits to being flirty with Jax.
Yeah.
But says, he's a mess.
Shady.
So she's not into it.
Shady, messy.
But she was also blacked out, so she doesn't really know.
And blackouts are God's way of saying, don't worry about it.
This hyped me up, by the way, about
you were like, I should go get blacked out.
No,
right
I'm not. I wasn't actively, but thinking about all the past things, I'm like, you're right. I didn't need to know about those.
I'm so okay. So now this is the best too, because Vail has some game, right? She's almost like that innocent flirt that it just comes out.
It's so smooth.
Like, yeah. And so she's like, Peter, it looks like you've been working out. And Peter's like, yeah, I can't even button my shirt up all the way.
A little too tight. He does look good. He does look good.
He does look good. He looks great. Peter calls himself a ladies' man. That's how he defines his essence.
Yeah, he goes on a lot of dates, but really he's just craving that partnership right now.
I get it. I think for him it might be hard. Like, okay, given these are the moves you put on someone who's drunk at a bar, right? If I'm hammered and Peter comes over to me and he's like, "You drunk? You make out slut?" I'd be like, "Yeah, probably." Right?
Yeah, this is not. But these are sober conversations.
Yeah, if we're sober, so I don't think Peter knows how to be the partner. I think he knows how to be a ladies' man. I don't think he knows.
I think he knows how to when he's drunk. Like, it doesn't come off as creepy when you're drinking.
Yeah, that's true.
But he just uses the same strategy when they're sober.
He doesn't get, like I said, when you're trying to be in a partnership with someone, you have to take them out sober. You have to one-on-one. You can't be creepy. He just doesn't have that kind of vibe.
No.
Which I'm okay with, but
he's a pirate, and a pirate is a blackout makeout. He's
Jack Sparrow, and I'm living my Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, but you don't want to date Jack Sparrow.
No. Jack Sparrow's a mess. But Vail, okay, this is kind of cute. So Vail has a tattoo on her wrist that's half a heart, but then her husband, whoever she marries, will have the other half of the heart. Peter's down. He's cool.
He's where's the closest tattoo shop? Yeah. I think this is cute if cute. Her husband.
If it works out. Yeah, 100%. I personally wouldn't do this because I'd have half a heart forever and no one would have the other half.
I guess that's true.
I feel like that's also the kiss of death, right? They would get the half of heart. I don't think
it's as much of a gamble.
It's not as bad, but
because let's be honest, you can get somebody else to get half of a heart.
Oh, you're right. In the future, you get divorced, and then your new wife. You're like, hey, or your new husband, whatever you want.
Yeah, it could be a wife. We're not.
Whatever you want. Wife, husband, neither, both, doesn't matter. So now we're back in Sir. Christina and Katie have a nice little chat. Christina wants to know how Miami went. Katie's like, it went really well. But Katie is still concerned about the Stassi friendship.
Yeah. Which Christina ruins it all by confirming Stassi's upset and over this friendship.
Yeah, obviously the friendship's over. And Katie's like, oh, not
what?
For me, it wasn't that obvious personally, just watching it, Christina, but maybe I missed something. I think Katie missed the same thing.
Yeah, Katie says it's a slap in the face to hear a friendship is over from Christina, which I agree. But Stassi's doing the exact thing that she's pissed about.
Yeah, where Katie didn't
Katie is
tell
finding
her
out through a different person that her friendship's over, and Stassi found out from a different person that Katie was going to Miami. Two wrongs don't make a right. This is not good.
No. Well, let's put to rest and let's go to James' apartment for a little bit. It's
first off,
James.
Really quick. The front of his apartment building was very interesting.
Oh, I missed it. What is it?
It was just it looked like a little house.
It's very cute.
A green little arched door.
I think that's kind of LA.
I loved it.
If I remember correctly, and this is
Mediterranean Italy kind of.
This
vibe.
isn't spoilers, but James, I think at one point when he's younger, does rent an apartment from an older person, from what I remember. So this might be someone's house, and maybe he's renting a room. I don't know the logistics, but I know that somehow it's eventually they are remember when James lived with someone who was older, he rented a room. So I don't know if maybe, but whatever. It's a nice apartment, but
yeah.
So we have Kristen, James, Sheena, and Shay. A seating chart for a wedding is so fucking stressful.
Yeah, I mean, I love when Sheena talks about her wedding because nobody else really cares. But when she starts talking specifics, I get how this is stressful because she's talking about Kristen and James's table. They'll be sitting with Jax, Katie, and Schwartz. And of course, Carmen is being placed at this table too because Jax begged Sheena to seat her next to him.
He's working so hard for this now.
But we never got an official breakup between him and Tiffany.
I know.
And Sheena never mentioned anything about a +1 not being had.
I'm so confused. We're missing so many fucking things.
This is also a 6-person table thus far. Do we think she has 8-person?
Kristen, James, Katie, and Tom.
Jax,
Ariana, Jax, Carmen. Oh, no, not Tom and Ariana.
Yeah, but I guess maybe
they're at the head table.
Yeah, you're right.
Whatever. Everyone from SUR is going to be at this table, supposedly. So, she's just going to throw Jen and Jeremy second tier at that table. It's
There you go. Okay.
But now it's time to work on Sheena's song. I love this song. It's the Daily Dish opening. It gets me every time. This is cool. Shake That. It's a good song. But so Sheena's actually going to perform at the wedding. She's going to stand on the head table, rip off her dress, and start dancing.
And James's face is what the fuck?
This is not going to be me at my wedding, but if someone else did this at their wedding, I would
She's joking though.
Fully.
She's joking.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because James was oh, cool. Oh, and then she was you're looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. Of course I'm not. I'm not sure if she's joking about the performance or the standing on the table ripping off her dress.
I think she was joking.
But she made a comment that look at your face. I had you type of comment.
She had me. Sheena got me.
I was this is such a hurt. I mean, she did this at her engagement party, so wouldn't really be shocked.
I'm not even surprised. But so Sheena has absolutely no voice from Miami, but Miami went pretty well except for the boys' dinner when Tom and Jax were arguing. Mm-hmm. And James says it sounded like both of them are hiding something, but bro code, which is fair. Whatever. It's A, what does James really know, honestly? And B, if I was listening to this conversation, if I was Shay's friend that randomly showed up, I'd be what are both these dudes hiding? I'd also think both of them are hiding.
Follow too if you don't we know so much because we're watching interviews and we're watching it piecemeal. If you're just sitting at this conversation, they were just bickering back and forth about their happenings. Who knows?
We don't talk about
real,
what happened.
Real.
Yeah. What about San Diego? Well, we don't talk about what happened in Miami. Well, nothing happened in Miami. And I'd be what's fucking happening?
What are we talking about?
So then the Tom and Kristen combo outside comes up.
Yeah. Kristen, she was how did that go?
Sheena's crying.
Love it.
Kristen says it was heavy. James is obviously uncomfortable when the conversation comes up, and Kristen acknowledges it upsets James and he doesn't want to talk about it, so she won't talk about it. But James understands. He understands that Kristen and Tom were together for 6 years, but now Kristen's dating James, so she should probably let go of
self-describes himself as, or he self-describes as Mr. Perfect.
Literally Mr. Perfect, Kristen, come on. And I do get it though. Kristen just cannot let go of the old relationship. But to some point, I kind of think now James needs to recognize that and just break up with her.
I agree. This is where it's so obvious that she's not letting go. It's not it's taking her time to get over it and she's slowly taking steps.
Yeah.
She's holding on for dear life onto Tom's ankle and he's trying to walk away.
She's about to hit Ariana with a Mack truck. No, you know what she's going to do? She's going to have James drive the Mack truck so he gets arrested. He's no longer in the picture. Ariana's dead. Now she can date Tom freely. Right? I mean,
that's
ideally.
Her dream.
That's Kristen.
That's her dream.
Oh, I can't. I just can't with her. Can we move on to something more lighthearted like Jax and Carmen?
I love this.
This is the
only
funniest
mainly
thing.
because we get a comment about the pizza breakup.
It was just so funny. So Jax is sitting at, let's like paint a picture because it was so funny. Jax is sitting at the Sunset Grill. He's got 2 plates, so someone's gonna join him. Carmen
He sneaks a fry.
Yeah, rude. Carmen walks up the stairs and everyone's jaws just drop. Like, what the fuck is Carmen doing here?
What is Carmen?
We're so confused. So Jax actually ordered for Carmen, which
he kisses her on the cheek too. It looks like he was trying to go for the lips, but he got
she turned
cheek right next to.
Yeah. He ordered for Carmen because he knows what she wants, and she's like, right.
She's being very short with him, and I really love it. Yeah. She's like, thanks.
So we gather that they're meeting in public during the day so Carmen won't kill him, which 10 out of 10, she almost murdered him at that pizza shop. We wish.
Love these types of comments where it's like, oh, did you bring me here in broad daylight so I wouldn't murder you? And he's like, no.
Kind of. Okay, so they refer to the pizza breakup. It was a nasty breakup. Jax deserved all the horrible things Carmen said, which they weren't that horrible. It was just like, grow up and stop fucking Peter Panning around LA.
She was being honest. She didn't have to like overlook the bad things anymore. So she was letting it all out.
So really quick, how long do you think it's been since Miami? Like 3 or 4 days? It hasn't been like too long. I'd say 3 or 4 days. So now Jax is like, oh my gosh, haven't really talked to you since Miami. And Carmen's like, yeah, because that was super inappropriate. And Jax is like, why? You were texting me back. To which Carmen was like, my exact text to you was, go talk to your girlfriend. Stop texting me.
Yes, I've sent a text like this before. I've had to send a text like this.
Same.
Where it's like, why are you talking to me? You have someone else.
Did Jax not read this text? Like, did he read it as like, maybe keep talking to me, I'm your girlfriend? Like, I don't know, because he seems so
overlooked
shocked.
It. He wants attention. I feel like I kind of get Jax a little bit in like his like need for someone. Like, it's kind of fun. Like, he's keeping Carmen on the bench. He wants to try and keep her on the bench.
He had someone though.
I know, but when she says something like, go talk to your girlfriend, that to him does not mean stop talking to me.
She wrote though, stop texting me.
I know.
Go talk to your girlfriend. To him,
that does not mean
stop texting me.
That he's ignoring the fact that he has a girlfriend anyway. So like, he just ignores that text and keeps going.
My eyes cannot roll far enough into my head. Okay.
But she does clarify. Carmen asks if him and Tiffany are still dating, and he doesn't say anything but nods. Like, no, they're not together.
Yeah. He says just something's missing with Tiffany, like, and Carmen like does not believe that he broke up with Tiffany. Like, he nods and she's like, why do I not believe you?
Of course, Jax is like, it's just so easy with you, Carmen. And she's like, you hurt me. Listen, we just got to get that straight. That breakup hurt me. You suck.
Okay, so Carmen's questioning him, right? And then he has the little mini line of, I said sorry, can we try again? Like, I apologize, can I get what I want now?
And in his interview, he says that Jax can self-admit that Carmen's the best sex he ever had, but she has also told him that he's the best she's ever had.
So why do we date anyone else? That's all dating is. It's just sex.
And that's what it is, which I don't believe. Like, when people say it's the best sex you've ever had, I don't believe it for a second, because you're going to tell the person you're with at that moment that they're the best.
I'm sure Carmen told Jax this while they were dating, right?
Yes. And now in a relationship, this is where I don't believe it. Like, if it's a one night stand, you're like, that was awesome.
Now that they're not dating, maybe Carmen's had better sex. Maybe she hasn't had any sex. I don't know how long it's been. I don't know her life. But either way, even if she hasn't had sex with anyone else but Jackson, was the best sex she's ever had, that is no longer the best sex because you fucking suck as a person. So now it's just like not as great,
Yep.
Like, she liked you when she was having sex with you, which added to it being better.
Yep.
Now she despises your ass. But then let's talk about the wedding. So she's not bringing a date to Sheena's wedding, but she says in general, Jax needs to like stop being like this in case she does bring a date to anything that they're at together.
Yes, he needs to be able to handle seeing her with a date, which he says he can do.
Yeah. And Jax is like, okay, but since you don't have a date, do you want to go to the wedding together? And she's like,
no.
Let me think about it. No.
But of course he's like, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We'll be sitting next to each other anyways.
It's fine. Also, yeah, he's like, wait, are you serious? You're not going to be my date? I like rented a cottage. And Carmen's like, no, I'm not going to spend the night at your weird you rented a cottage to hang out at? What?
I love Carmen giving Jax a run for his money.
I do too. Carmen is
but
like
I think
my
he's
new
only
favorite
more
character.
interested.
It does, because he can't get what he wants. But like part of me then
chase.
hopes,
everybody loves the chase. Let's be honest.
I love the chase. But part of me hopes Carmen will be like never given again, because it'll just be funnier. Like this is absolutely funny. Like he even says, usually when he wants to get back together, he whines and he dines and he charms a girl. But Carmen's being difficult. Fuck you, Carmen. No, I love Carmen. She's the best.
Jax really does like a good chase. Like if he's going to date someone.
I agree. Everyone likes the chase. I
chase.
love the chase. That's the best part of the relationship.
It has to be like a flirty chase, not like a really complicated one.
This is a complicated chase because you had her and then you let her go. So now she's not playing the same game. Yeah, you can't chase her if she's not running. She's just there, not accepting you. Okay, but it's fine. Let's go to Sir. Everyone's here. Everyone's good. Peter approaches the hostess stand where Vail is working and is flirting super hard. And Vail kind of starts to deny his ass a little bit.
Yeah.
She's like, you're being a really good boss.
She gets work serious. And of course, Peter then, what do? You ask for help. She needs to like somehow touch me. So he has her like do his buttons.
Please.
That was so good. Can you do this one now?
I can never get these buttons closed. I like can't even do things with my left hand. And she's like, your left hand? See, this is where I'm like, Vail, stop kind of flirting, because Peter is like missing it.
You're really into it. Yeah. This
also,
is a good idea for a little bit of flirting.
Yeah. But Peter
thinks it's so much more, and Vail's like, even we can tell she's not into it, but he can't.
Yeah. I love Ariana and Tom too watching it, and they're just like
through the window. Oh my God. And I love that they're like, I really don't want to see Peter trying to get laid.
Does not need to happen at work. We are all too sober.
Manager do it.
There's too much light here. It's just not appropriate. But okay, so more people start to show up, including Katie. Schwartz actually walks Katie in, which is cute. They see Lisa. Lisa's like, hey, how is Miami? I'm so glad you went. You guys look cute. And Katie says she's glad she went too, because now it's easier at work to like work with everyone, which I totally get. Working with people you hate is a lot of stress.
Yeah, and Sheena walks up and agrees. She was so happy that Katie came, and they all have better relationships, and it's so great. But Katie also mentions to Lisa, like, everything going on with Stassi. Lisa confirms that she was there when Katie called Stassi and has been really trying to encourage her to, like, mend things between the two. Well,
Lisa also agrees with Katie that it's easy for Stassi to avoid people, but it's not as easy for Katie to avoid people. Also, she thinks it's absolutely ridiculous that Christina said the friendship's over.
This is so dumb. I think it's ridiculous to ever say a friendship is over.
It's just like grade school where it's like, hey, Meredith said that your friendship together is over. And she's not even going to tell you.
Yeah, she's just going to ice you out and block your number, basically. Yeah. Like, woohoo.
I appreciate Schwartz really having Katie's back, though. He feels like Stassi has really high standards, and he hopes that they can mend the friendship, but he's not sure Stassi's being a really good friend to Katie.
I was shocked to hear him say that he hoped that they mended their friendship, because back in Miami, he made a comment about it would honestly be better if Stassi was out of Katie's life. But I think he sees how much Katie misses her.
I think Katie's just sad, so he's like, I hope, but like Stassi needs to be a better friend. Mm-hmm. Which Lisa says that Katie was living in Stassi's shadow, and now Katie's standing up for herself. You did nothing wrong, Katie.
No, you didn't, Katie. We're all behind you.
Lisa goes, blame it on me. Told her, I told you to go to Miami.
Which is true. Honestly, it's kind of true. Lisa's the one who orchestrated it all.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, let's go hiking with Kristen and Rachel. I think this is the first time we're meeting Rachel. I love Rachel.
This is. Yeah, I recognize her immediately.
Yeah. So they're going to the weird LA stairs. They're going to climb some stairs for fun. Meredith, would you climb stairs for fun with me? I would never climb stairs for fun. So Rachel is one of Kristen's first friends in Miami. She's a stand-up comedian.
LA.
Or LA.
We've been talking about Miami so much.
Yeah. First friends in LA. She's a stand-up comedian. Rachel actually has this great bit where she talks about her ex. Her ex happens to be Jax Taylor. Who fucking else? And
we just needed one more person who slept with Jax to make this powder keg just blow up.
It's just amazing. So that's how Kristen met Tom, actually. Like,
which is, I like hearing this story. This is wild. I forgot about this.
So now we're going to talk about Miami, because once they're done climbing the stairs, Kristen's like, hey, I got a text from Miami girl I got to tell you about. I can't tell if Rachel is interested or like just kind of doesn't give a fuck. Like, is Rachel, she just being...
She makes a comment at one point about this. Okay, so basically Kristen gets a text that Miami girl is coming to LA, which based on the next time on, I thought Kristen was inviting her to LA. So this is interesting that she's already coming to LA. And Kristen said that Ariana blocked Miami girl. And this is where Rachel goes, well, that's normal.
Why wouldn't Ariana block her? Okay,
I don't think Rachel cares, because I think she's a normal person who's like, you need to move on.
Rachel has never worked at SUR as far as we know, and she's just living a whole nother life that does not involve Vanderpump Rules. Okay, so Miami girl, I got some of the texts. She said, this is Miami girl's text. I want to confront him in front of Ariana. I would love to see the look on Tom's face. If he saw me in person, he's such a liar. And the Miami girl's name is Anne Marie. And she had sex with Tom. And she also said, I looked on Instagram and Ariana blocked me. How stupid are girls sometimes? And then she gave a description about Tom's man situation. And Kristen
which is
agrees.
Proof to Kristen.
Yeah, Kristen totally agrees with this description, because somehow we all, all of our exes have smaller penises than we remember the first time around. It seems like Kristen and Anne-Marie agree on the size, which, Jesus goodness.
Well, Kristen says that Miami girl described it as small, which, and literally Kristen says, fits the description. I'm sorry. That is not a description that I can go off of just because you said he's small. Like you said, you're going to always say he's smaller than he was after the fact.
Every ex is described as small, Kristen. It's just facts.
It's just what you got to do.
But now Kristen says that if Jax was being honest, then this wouldn't be an issue, because Jax is the one that told Kristen about Miami girl before it came out on social media. So there's no use in denying it, because Jax fucking Taylor, his word is law.
And we get a flashback to when Jax basically says, I don't know. But also in Miami, when the boys were bickering at the boys' dinner, Tom says that Jax wasn't there. He was hooking up with a girl on the beach.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And
which Jax doesn't deny.
And Schwartz
not being in the room.
Given Schwartz doesn't seem like the type to rat any of his friends out, but he says he's like, Tom and I were at the room, and Schwartz he's never straight up said there was no Miami girl, but he's always like, Jax is wrong. He's like, Jax wasn't there. I need
Schwartz to stand up and be like, I know this didn't happen. Here's exactly what happened.
Tom and I fell asleep together. I am Miami girl. Tom Schwartz is Miami girl.
Yeah. Also,
next episode,
I selfishly am excited to see Tom's face.
Oh, I can't wait.
She does come.
Oh, I can't wait. Actually, wouldn't it be funny if it was Tom Schwartz in a wig and he ripped it off and he's like, it is I. We are together. Okay, so now we're at Peter's apartment. Jack shows up. Peter's got a nice apartment. He's got a nice walk-in closet. I don't know why he can't afford a bed. Or a mattress that isn't on the ground.
Box spring and bed are on the ground. Also, it's just really dirty though.
Yeah. Okay. So Peter asked Vail to have coffee. He likes Vail's hourglass figure. He's good.
This is where you can tell he has no game.
He hasn't really been dating. He's been dating on and off for about 2 years. This could be it. This could be the one. Jax realizes that Peter has zero game, and it's probably going to be bad.
But he's so sweet about it. This is the Jax I like to see, where he's nice to his friends, and he says that in his interview, where it's he has no game, but happy to help him out.
Yeah. So Jax is giving him a preemptive warning, hey, remember when we hook up with girls from Sir, it's kind of bad. And Peter's hooked up with Stassi and Katie. And honestly, I thought those worked out kind of well for Peter. Like
we didn't ever see them on camera, but there has been no issues that we've seen from Peter hooking up with anybody at work.
Yeah.
Jax, on the other hand, is a disaster. He lifts off everybody with Laura Lee being like the worst.
He dated Stassi, hooked up with Kristen, which cracked me up because he missed that he hooked up with Kristen while kind of dating Stassi. He hooked up with Rachel, a different Rachel than Kristen's Rachel.
Yes. Whenever he first said Rachel, then we got the like picture of her. I was
Rachel.
Like, oh,
different Rachel, and Laura Lee, which that was drama.
We don't even need to speak about. Just go to season 1, everybody.
So Peter straightens his hair, gets it all ready. I think we have the same straightener. That's fun. I think he's the chi. But Peter definitely needs to change his sheets. I'm insulted.
Ew, I'm so grossed out. There were like gross stains on his sheets, and they were navy where things don't even show up that well. Yeah.
He needs to buy a bed so his mattress isn't on the ground. He should probably pick up a little bit. There seems to be like a lot of shit happening.
And he was confused. Jax is like, I would clean up, for Vail's sake. And he was like, Peter said, what? I thought it was pretty clean.
No, you should.
Boys are insane. Boys are insane.
Your bed a little bit. I don't know. Just me, Peter. I'm going to make out with you at the bar. I'm not going to go home with you now. Thank you, though.
Oh, my God. Alicia's in love with Peter, if anybody didn't know.
Oh, now we're at Stassi's apartment. Christina's here, along with our my favorite, Jeremy and Jen. I bet Jeremy makes the bed every morning. I'm just saying. So.
But Jeremy brought over some champagne with gold flakes. Talk about a real man here.
Oh God, I love him. And Jen's gorgeous. Okay, so we get
Alicia's other love, Jeremy.
We get to see Stassi's studio. Did you see the other chevron painting that was on the wall? I
didn't. I'm so happy.
And I was like, it was like right behind Stassi. So Jeremy, Jen, and Christina were like staring at this painting, and I was just like, Stassi would never
sit DIY era.
Meredith would never sit in Stassi's apartment like this.
No, I fucking hated chevron back then, and I hate it even more now.
Well, we get to see Stassi's jewels. That's what we're really here to look at. She makes statement necklaces, like Egyptian style.
Which, like, who knew this?
I don't think it ever took off. But Stassi loves statement necklaces because it means when someone's not making eye contact, at least she knows they aren't staring at her boobs. But like
this was idiotic. I'm sorry, guys are not staring at your necklace.
Wow, what a nice statement necklace that girl's wearing.
I would be concerned if a guy was staring at my chest and was actually looking at my necklace.
Comes over and is like, I love your statement necklace. I'd be like, what the fuck? Just look at my boobs. It's fine.
Yeah.
So Stassi's so annoyed because she probably thinks all of the Sir people think she's a loser, but she's really trying to hustle, man. She's like making these statement necklaces. She's not selling them, but she's making them, which is like step 1. But
she's got her blog, she's doing things.
Nothing that makes money, but she's doing hobbies. So Christina brings up Katie. And says that Katie has said that she's tried to reach out to Stassi so many times. And Stassi's like, that was a lie. I got one text that said, hey, and I don't respond to lame text messages.
Okay, we already know this isn't true because there has been a phone call.
Also, if someone's mad at you, how do you start it? I'd be like, hey.
Okay, but you can't just send hey. If she did just send hey, I get why Stassi did not respond.
But if it was my best friend, I'd be like, hey, can we talk?
Yes. And also, listen, we're getting two sides, obviously, here. Katie told Vail in Miami that she had reached out to Stassi a few times and Stassi was
never heard back.
Her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Stassi thinks it's sad that the only way to fix like the Katie-Tom relationship is to hang out with people who ruined it. And she'd feel really bad if that was her. She'd feel bad about herself.
But Christina's still sticking up for Katie here. I like it. No. She's like, Stassi, you need to see her side. But Stassi, all she wants is an apology, some remorse, and she's thirsty for it.
I appreciate Christina being like, forgiveness? Like, that's all she said. She's like, maybe forgiveness. And Jen and Jeremy are just like,
yeah, this is so dramatic. This is such a overreaction, in my opinion, on Stassi's part. And I love that her friends are saying, like, you're being a little crazy. Like, why don't you just move on?
I straight up think Christina is more sad about this friendship ending than Katie is. Because Christina's, like, really pushing for this.
Well, and think, like, this is how Katie was in this position before. Now Christina's in this position where, like, she's now friends with Katie at work and friends with Stassi on the weekend, or, like, outside of work now. Katie used to be in that position where she had to go to work every day, talk to these people, and be friends with Stassi. Yeah. It's hard to walk that tightrope. So if Katie and Christina can do it together, be friends with Stassi and talk to these people at work, it's a lot easier.
True.
And you gotta have each other's back.
In a less serious note, I kind of thought, like, you know, now Christina is really Stassi's main and only friend, and it seems like Christina has another life. So now if Stassi's, like, always like, you need to hang out with me, Christina's like, I need you to be friends with Katie again so I can have, like, a fucking break once in a while. So we
can, like, split this responsibility 50-50 here.
Yes, I'm not trying to be on the show full time, so if you could leave me alone. So now we're at Luna Park for our Peter Vail coffee date. And Pete, you know, they sit down, they're like, yay, coffee. And Peter's like, a bottle of wine? My lady, would you like some wine?
Which, this is my dream. This is my dream, to go for a coffee date and somebody be like, so wine?
Yes, for us. Vail is like, I was going to get chamomile tea. It's 5 p.m. But then I was like, okay, I thought it was fucking noon. If it's 5 p.m. Vail, you can have a glass of wine. Jesus.
Literally, before we get it's 5 p.m., I'm like, oh, you know, like, what is it, 11 a.m.? I get why she's like, I was going to get tea. But the minute she mentions it's 5 p.m., I'm like, you don't need any excuses to drink wine at 5 p.m.
It's 5 p.m. here and now. When you mean 5 p.m.? She goes, it's aggressive to drink right now. Aggressive, girl. Friday, I was drinking at 2 p.m. I don't know what you're talking about. Calm down. So she's like, okay, I give in to peer pressure. I'll take a glass of wine. And Peter's like, the bottle.
We'll take a bottle. Which, this is kind of a smart strategic move on his part, because like I said, when Stassi and Kristen had that bottle of wine, that means you got to sit there and drink it. Like, he is buying basically at least an hour and a half, 2 hours with her
of her time. A bottle. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so Vail is like, I thought this was like a literal coffee date. They're not on the same page. Vail thought she was going to grab coffee with the nice dude from Hinge and then never talk to him again. Peter thought he was grabbing a glass of wine.
Why do you think you're having a coffee date at 5 p.m.?
I don't know. Vail wasn't even going to get coffee. She's going to get tea.
I don't understand that. Like,
also, this didn't look like a coffee place. It looked like a restaurant.
No. I think they are on different pages, but Vail, there should have been a red flag as soon as you were meeting at 5 p.m.
Yeah, because then, like, we're hungry. Let's get an app. You know, like,
yes, that means it's going to turn it. You have the opportunity for it to turn into more
to the night. Yeah. Okay. The only way to talk about this date is awkward. Peter has this weird move where he, like, looks deep into a lady's eyes.
I couldn't even watch it. I was sitting on my couch, like,
I was trying to look
with myself.
I was trying to look into the eyes and not, like, blink. I was like, we're staring contest right now.
I, like, kind of want to go on a date just to do this, but, like, I just need to find somebody on Hinge just to, like, have the most awkward date.
Hey, I don't really like you. Do you want to go to a 5 p.m. coffee date so I can look into your eyes?
No, you test can't tell them you want to look into their eyes.
No, I know, but that's the idea I'm saying behind it. Yeah. You would just be like, 5 p.m. coffee date, and then you would. Well,
Vail is also not in for this.
Vail,
he's about to play, like, the lesbian card.
She moves into the back of her seat and just goes, "What are you doing?"
Like, there were so many signals to the other person that this is not going well. And somehow Peter's like, this is the best date ever. We're really making that eye contact. Like, he's hyping himself up still because he keeps doing it.
He's doing that thing where he's like, I'm looking deep into her eyes. And she's like, if I look away, he murders me. So I have to hold his stare.
But she's like, you can tell by people's body language if they're interested. If they're leaning into the conversation, they're interested. She is as far away from him as possible.
I give it to Vail, though. This bitch really looks at him and goes, you're really awkward. You're awkward. Yes. You're an awkward person. And he goes, I really appreciate Vail telling me I'm awkward because that means she's paying attention to me. No.
Yes.
No, it doesn't take, like, Sherlock Holmes to figure out if someone's awkward.
He mentions the eye. She's like, you're really good at eye contact. I mean, it's kind of a little awkward. And he's like, wow, I like her telling me how it is. Like, look at that strong woman.
So then Peter, as if this date couldn't get worse, he's like, hey, I also used to date Stassi and Katie.
Well, no. Vail asked if he's ever dated somebody at Sir.
Okay, and Peter's like, yes, I dated Stassi and Katie. I was actually dating them at the same time, and I had to choose. I assume this means he chose Stassi because
yes.
Like, it seems like he dated Stassi longer and then ended that super quick.
Yeah, that I did not realize he dated them at the same time.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
How did he have that much game then?
Dude, all girls move to LA and want a pirate, okay? I don't even know. That's what I want.
I wonder how long the overlap was. I want more on this, but
maybe Peter was getting tired of Katie, so then started dating Stassi, and then eventually he had to choose, and he's like, I'm going to pick Stassi, but then that sucked.
Yeah, it was just a little overlap.
We found out, in season 1 that dating Stassi was just a nightmare for him, that he was like, no thanks.
Shocker. I don't know if anybody realized dating Stassi was a nightmare.
A huge headache. So eventually Vail's like, I have to go to work. Thank you for the wine. Goodbye. Peter then he's like, I know this date was kind of a bust, but
I'm glad you're on the same page with us.
We tried. Peter. Did they drink a whole bottle of wine, or does Peter sit there and finish the rest?
Couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up. I did not see a second glass being poured, so I'm assuming he's going to cork that baby and go home.
Let me tell you, if someone's staring into my eyes that deep, I'm staring into the bottle. I am going straight in. I'm drinking all of it.
Chugging. I'm free wine, but she has to go to work, so I bet she had one glass.
I'm drinking till my eyes are shut and you can't look at me anymore. So we are now at Sir. This is our cute 90 seconds. Lisa's going to show Jax and Peter a real man. It's a big ass dog. We love it. Lisa loves it. End of 90 seconds clip.
Talking to the dog about how sexy it is. She do doggy style to it. Jax and Peter are a little weirded out, but they do agree the dog is.
Dog's hot. It's a hot dog. Great. So now
a hot dog.
It's I hate me. Okay, so okay, now we're at Sir. Hang on, sorry.
They're getting there. Vail and Peter are in the back. They're both having coffee finally because they didn't get coffee on their date.
Yes. Peter's learned finally. He's done with dating females at Sir. Even if it's Taylor Swift, maybe. I don't know. Is Taylor Swift his type? Is that his?
I don't know. That was really weird that he mentioned her.
That's not me. I love Taylor Swift. I'm opposite of Taylor Swift. So it looks like Peter is not that into me. Anyway, so now Jax is at the bar. Peter comes over. Meanwhile, Vail and Katie are talking about the date. So both agree, right? Both Peter and Vail agree the date kind of sucked. It's not going anywhere. No love connection.
Yeah, it was awkward. It's not working.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just get a recap of it. Lisa is confused because she thought Jax and Vail. Lisa walks up to Peter and Jax.
Yeah.
And she was confused because she thought Jax and Vail were flirting and what happened with that. But Lisa just wants to make sure Peter's not dating anyone in the staff. Yeah. He's supposed to be above them, not on top of them. Got him.
But okay, so back to Vail and Katie. They, discuss whatever. And then Vail asked Katie about Stassi. And Stassi responded to Katie finally, and they're going to meet up tomorrow and talk. And Katie's hoping that once Stassi can kind of hear her side, Stassi will understand that it really wasn't a betrayal. It wasn't meant to be that way. And Vail's like, this friendship is insane. Katie, you need to get more for your buck, but you both got over dating Peter. So you can get over a hot guy like Peter, you can get it.
I think Katie's going into this very logically. Listen, if she just hears me out and listens to my side of the story, I think Katie is planning on apologizing for how it went down. That was not her intent. But once Stassi hears, Katie's side and she needed to spend time with her boyfriend, it was important to her and her and Schwartz, then Stassi will be fine and well. But Vail sees past this and is listen, you put a lot more into this friendship than Stassi gives you. I think there's something wrong here.
Good luck. But yeah, I definitely think that if they talk tomorrow and Katie says listen, I'm sorry for how it went down, but this is why. And then Stassi could be I'm sorry, I was such a bitch to you. This is what I felt. we're on great. We like let it all out, right? They both need to apologize and they both need to own up, but they both need to explain themselves at the same time.
And I think Katie is ready to come and do that. I don't think Stassi is.
No, Stassi's ready for that. What is she? She's thirsty for remorse. Isn't that what she said?
Yeah, remorse and an apology.
So now we're at this place called Birds, I think, with Kristen and James. This is weird. I want to talk about this. So Kristen basically says to the waitress, like, pick whatever, I'll like it. And I almost want to be like, I hate when other people pick out my food. I know what I want at that time.
Yeah, my dad sometimes says this. I don't think if you're not really picky and you can't decide. I've like given a waiter like 2 options and they decide and I'm like, great, let's move on with that.
I don't know if she gave him options or just like,
no, she just said pick whatever. I'm sure I'll like it.
She better be careful because she's vegetarian. Remember Korean barbecue? That's all I thought about. Okay, so
Shit, I forgot about that.
So James is very excited about Chyna's new song.
They just got to record it.
Yeah, Kristen says it'll be good, but Chyna has to cut the whole porn star rapping thing, which I was like, I don't know, that's kind of Chyna's shtick, you know? Like,
yeah, and Kristen, what the fuck do you know about music? And 2, this is the first time we've really seen Kristen say some like mean things about Chyna this season.
Yeah, like porn star rapping things, kind of rude.
And she does like the sounds. Kristen like mimics some sounds.
But like that like remember that first thing where they were like less phone sex operator, more porn star? Yes. That's Chyna's shtick, you know? Whatever.
Yes.
But now, of course, we can only talk about Chyna for so long because we got to talk about the Miami girl. Kristen will die if this Miami girl actually shows up. Like, she'll fucking love it. It's gonna be awesome. Miami girl's about to make Tom a
Kristen's
liar.
like getting wet over there, like just talking about Miami girl. And James is like, fuck, can we just not talk about this for once?
She's an evil queen, but karma is a bitch. The truth always comes out. And James literally says like maybe 3 words. He's like, yeah, it's weird.
But in his interview, he tells us he hates that Kristen is still pursuing this. You know, like, but Kristen literally tells James that Sandoval was texting how he missed her, as in her, Kristen, and like that he regretted jumping into a relationship with Ariana. And I'm like, you are so rude. You do not tell your now boyfriend this. Yeah. Tell your girlfriends this. This is not something you tell your boyfriend.
Also, read the receipts, Kristen. Really? When? Where was it?
Yeah, I would love to see some screenshots of that.
Also, a part of me was like, if this was after Miami, that was totally Tom and Ariana laying around going, just do it so she'll like lay off of us and not bother us for a little bit.
I guess.
So Kristen should be careful. Yeah, James is super annoyed. But he's so understanding. He's like, I understand that like Tom needs to take actions for what he's done. But like, if we could get through a lunch without talking about Tom, that'd be great.
Yeah, he holds us in like 2 things. One, he obviously believes that the Sandoval rumor is true and thinks Sandoval needs to pay for it, which listen, I can understand that a little bit. I can have him hold that.
Yeah, they're in a feud too. Like we got to remember those two.
Yeah, I can understand that he wants Sandoval to go down for this, but he's so frustrated because it's his girlfriend pursuing this. I think he would prefer somebody else pursued this. And that's where it lies for him he's conflicted because he's tired of his girlfriend going after Sandoval and like being too invested and constantly talking to him. But he does want Sandoval to pay.
Yeah. If literally anyone else could pursue this, that'd be great. Help to James.
Can somebody pick this torch up for me and my girlfriend?
Jackie, what you doing? You want to do this for James or? Okay. So, now we're at the lunch date with Chris and Stassi. This is where I took the most notes. The second most was Jackson Carmen because I love a good lunch.
Just so many things.
Okay, so God, it was awkward at first, right? But Katie, like you said, is going in with we're gonna talk it out, we're gonna apologize, we're gonna like move on. Stassi says that she is expecting Katie to shut her mouth, listen, and apologize, which is not a great conversation to have.
She wants a minion. This is when it's so clear that Stassi wants a follower, not a friend.
Yes. So Stassi wants to know why Katie let things let things go down the way they did. And Katie acknowledges that Stassi's upset about that. And there's no excuse. She says there's no excuse for the way you found out. And I get that. Like,
yep.
So sorry. But then Katie's like, but you were ignoring me, so I didn't know like how to tell you. Yeah, Also,
I don't like this approach. I don't like this approach because if you're gonna I feel like she's shifting blame a little bit to Stassi.
Yeah.
And that's something you need to address after you get over the root of the problem. That Stassi, I also want to talk to you about how you behaved.
My only thought was, so Sheena and Stassi grabbed lunch, right? And Stassi finds out and then is mad. And then Katie probably reached out to tell Stassi, but then Stassi wouldn't respond. And then eventually found out that Sheena told Stassi. I think Katie was
I'm curious about that order too, because did Katie find out that Stassi already knew and tried to go apology mode, or was Katie trying to just tell her?
Yeah, and then she was like, but you were ignoring me. That's kind of how I took it. You were ignoring me, and then the shit went down. I don't know. So Stassi says it doesn't matter because Stassi would have tried everything to get a hold of Katie.
I hate that shit. I hate that. You're putting up these walls because you want to force her to work very hard to get to you, basically. That's ridiculous.
And Katie's not about to be disrespected. Y'all better watch out for Katie. She coming out, and she says that one thing, she says there's one thing back to Stassi. She's like, Stassi, just listen. And Stassi's like, there's no point in it. You need to listen to me. If you're not going to listen to me, then there's no point to this convo. Which again, I was like, ugh. Okay. Stassi said Katie owes it to her to tell her, which she did. And Katie says she doesn't owe Stassi anything. And Stassi's like, then we weren't that good of friends. Which I was like,
a dagger to Katie. You that's a low blow, but that's something you also say in a fight. So I get Stassi saying that a little bit.
Katie's sad. She's like, after 4 years of friendship, this girl was basically my sister. And then we flashed to their cute friendship.
I know. Listen, I think Katie did owe it to Stassi to tell her.
She did. But then, and I agree that Katie should have told Stassi. I think in a fight, Katie's like, then I don't owe you anything that. And I understand that. I wouldn't necessarily say I owe my friends anything. Out of being friends, I would do this to I should tell you and I should do things, but I don't owe you anything kind of thing.
That's true.
But then that's when Stassi's like, then we weren't good friends. And it was like, blah, blah, blah.
She doesn't owe her.
Drop.
Katie doesn't owe it to Stassi to avoid it. She should
tell her. Again, I need a timeline of when Stassi found out and when Katie was going to tell her. I need that whole timeline. So Katie then says she's insulted that this friendship obviously wasn't equal. And she's upset that Stassi's throwing this in her face when Katie's done nothing but have support for Stassi through all this.
Unwavering loyalty. And Stassi's like, loyalty? You think this is what loyalty looks like? And loyalty and literally standing by your side 24/7 is not the same thing.
It's
Katie
different,
had loyalty, even down in Miami. She could have just bashed her through and through. Katie was complaining about Stassi not picking up her phone calls, texting her back.
Yeah.
Valid. But and nobody bashed Stassi down there really.
Yeah. And Katie said,
didn't participate. All Katie said it was more fun.
And Katie said, I could still be a friend, and have your back in Miami.
Yes.
And I'm sure if someone said something horrible about Stassi, Katie would have been like, can we just not
shut it down?
Don't talk about it.
I don't want to hear this.
But this is kind of where Katie snaps when she's like, shut the fuck up, Stassi. That's bullshit. And then it starts go down. Because Katie's like, I don't know what you wanted me to do. Did you want me to stay at home and wait for you to text me back? Fuck that. And I was like, fuck that. Yes. And this is where Stassi, you could see she's now visibly shook. That moment
she's
when
never
Sheena,
had anybody do this to her.
It was that moment when Sheena's like, Katie's coming to Miami and Stassi was shook. This is Stassi is now shook. And Stassi's like, I thought we were just on the same page about these people. And Katie's like, so I changed my mind and it meant a lot to Tom, and Tom's important to me. And I'm trying to be supportive of him, and he's trying to be supportive of me. Yeah,
I'm putting Tom first and supporting him. It meant a lot to him for me to do that. So I went. It's not about you. She brings up Stassi moving to New York, and she was like, this is in Katie's interview though. She's like, Stassi basically moved to New York, thinks she's some adult and can kind of be condescending to all of us, but that's not how this works. We're not just little people working these dumb jobs. We have a lot of shit going on too. You're not above us.
Yeah. And Katie just wanted to be cordial and not wake up with anger and hatred in her heart like Stassi does. And Stassi says she doesn't have hatred in her heart. She just she didn't think about these people. And then she moved back and now she has to deal with these people and she hates hates it. And that's where I was like, that's the hatred though. That was like,
yep. And Katie's the last link to these people. So she's done.
Yeah. But then Katie's like, these are my coworkers. And Stassi's like, but you can't go on vacation with your coworkers and they're your friends. And it's like,
But I like that Katie says, I didn't go on vacation with these people. Yeah. I went on vacation with my boyfriend. That was my intent. And that's what I went to do. These people were there and I was cordial and friendly with them. Like, yes. I can be, like you said earlier, she said, I can be around these people and have your back. It's not an either or.
Mm-hmm. But to Stassi, it's an either or. She can't be around these people. It makes her feel betrayed. She doesn't think Katie cares or understands where she's coming from. And this is where I paused and applauded, because Katie says she can't make everyone happy, so she's going to make herself happy, and that comes with a price. No one else is going to worry about her, so she's got to.
I love that. I love that she stands up. Stassi starts crying, like tearing up a bit. Mm-hmm. I thought that was manipulation, to be honest. She's like tearing up and like blinding her eyes.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of find it a little manipulating.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Gets up and leaves.
She's like, Stassi thought she was going to guilt me into this, but
no.
I'm making my own decision, and it's nothing personal to Stassi. It just happened.
I really hope this shows everybody who said like, oh, did you check in with Stassi if you can do that? Like whenever they were all saying that to Katie, I hope this shows everybody in that friend group, like, F you, I'm my own person.
Fuck yeah. Good for Katie. All right. Now we need to accept and block. I have it. I have a feeling.
Hold on. Tell me what happens next time.
Oh, do we do that first?
Oh my God. Have you ever been on this podcast before?
No, this is my first time. Okay. So next time, Stassi hates Katie and Jax equally now. So that's fun. But Schwartz is very supportive of Katie. Miami Girl is here and she confronts Tom. And then we get a lot of yelling. Kristen's yelling at Sheena. Sheena's yelling back. And Lisa like doesn't know what's true and what's not true. And it's all a mess. And I'm so excited. And we're not going to have very many notes because I'm just going to be watching.
I know. I love that Lisa makes a comment like, why would she come all the way here if it were false?
Because Kristen's insane. No, I don't know. I think that's what Tom said. Something along those lines. Whew.
Okay, now we can do accepted and blocked.
Okay,
You're just
sorry.
So excited to do this. Do you already know?
I think so. I think I have mine too. I think I got it. Which one should I do first?
Too. Let's do blocked because I like to end on a happy note. I'm kind of happy with my person that I'm accepting.
I kind of think we might do the same ones, but I'm not
think
sure.
So too.
Okay, I'm gonna block Stassi. Are you blocking Stassi?
I'm blocking somebody different.
Oh, okay. I'm blocking Stassi. I just think this whole like I'm thirsty for remorse and an apology thing is just kind of like you're too big on your high horse. She couldn't even end the friendship. She finally texts back Katie and they can like hash it out. But Stassi does not come in listening, right? She just wants Katie to shut the fuck up and apologize. Mm-hmm. And like that's no way to solve, especially someone who's been your best friend for 4 years. Like there should be more of a conversation, especially if this person, which Katie did, she went in with the like, I think Stassi should have known that, right? Katie's trying to get in touch with her. And like Christina's even saying like, Stassi, like you should talk to Katie. So Stassi should know that Katie wants to make this better, right?
Yeah.
But somehow she still is like, I'm not going to try and make it better. Katie's got to do all the work, which like to me is ridiculous. I would cut Stassi out of my life after this too. If I was Katie, I'd be like, see you later.
And her approach was terrible. Like Stassi should have been like, these are my feelings. This is like why I'm hurt.
How I'm feeling.
Yeah. And it was none of that. The fact that she came in wanting a sit down, listen, nod, apologize.
It's just not going to happen. Katie, I don't even think Stassi knew Katie had a backbone. And here it is. Hell yeah. It
is. Wow. You can just see it right there through her clothes. I'm blocking Kristen. Listen, there are multiple levels to this. One, the fact that I don't like that she's making fun of Sheena. Like I'm the first to make fun of Sheena, but like this is your only friend really. And
that
like
porn
you're gonna
star
make fun
rapping.
Of her. Come on,
porn star
leave it
rapping
be.
thing.
Like you said, that's her thing. Like we all know she's gonna be doing this porn star rapping. Like just accept it. Also, like she's doing a song with your boyfriend. Like that's great things for both of them. Leave it be. But even worse, the whole Miami trying to get Tom back. And I feel like the fact that her friend Rachel was not even entertaining this, like shows you how dumb this is. And I feel so bad for James. Like the things she says to his face, the fact that she told James, which who even knows if this is true, that Sandoval was texting her while they like her and James were dating, that Sandoval wishes he never dated Ariana, like regrets moving on so quickly. Yeah, misses her. Like, read the room. This is a girlfriend chat, not to your boyfriend.
My favorite thing is if I minus Ariana but add a Mack truck equals Tom. Heart.
Plus James driving.
Plus James driving Mack truck.
Like, you're fucking delusional. Like,
it's so funny.
I just can't even really express my feelings, or I'm gonna go into a spiral. I'm trying to hold back.
It's fine. Do you want to accept someone so you can get your happiness?
Yeah, I'm accepting Katie. I'm so proud of her.
Me too. Yay.
On a little note, love her little friendship with Vail. Like, love the chat about like her dating Peter. I thought that was so funny.
So fun.
And Katie came to honestly do a little bit of groveling, but was not ready to be like a giant FU from Stassi.
Yeah.
Katie was ready to fix this friendship and like do some work, but she needed like just Stassi to understand. I don't even think she needed an apology for how Stassi behaved. She just needed an understanding that Katie needs to do things she doesn't always want to do because she's in a relationship.
Okay, I know. I was just like, I also accepted Katie, but actually, since you're accepting her, I'm going to accept someone else because I really, really want to accept this person too.
Is it Vail?
No. But I totally agree that Katie was top notch in this episode. I'm going to accept Carmen.
Oh,
I love this bitch. She was such a bad bitch walking up. She's like, why the fuck you order for me? Why the fuck you talking? Why'd you call me here? This is
I'm
so
not going
stupid.
To the wedding with you.
What fucking cottage did you rent? This is so
I might bring
dumb.
a date.
Stop texting me. I told you to stop texting me. You're still texting me.
She is. Wow, that is a good one.
Queen. I loved it. But yeah, so this was great. These really slow episodes get us thinking because it's like winding up. So we have to speculate everything.
It like gets me going because I just get so heated about things. I hate watching them, but talking about them, I guess I do.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. Okay, guys, remember Instagram at Vanderpasta, Facebook group.
Funny comments.
Oh, we love it. Same name as the podcast. Also on Instagram, if you comment, I will comment, like I said, my personal account and try and
make Alicia do it all. I post all the stuff. Alicia has to entertain all comments.
And then join our Patreon. There's so much happening there. I'm not going to go through it again. For Craptastic blog. You're welcome.
Alicia and I are recording round the clock for all of our stuff.
This is like a second job, which is fine.
Which we love. It's our hobby.
Yes, it is our hobby. The way Stassi makes statement necklaces, we do a podcast.
No, don't even compare us because Stassi's not successful. I would like say we're somewhat successful.
We're okay. Okay, but yes, I think that's it. This was fun. We love you guys more than a bottle of vodka.